Welcome to another PEMY Safety Moment. This is Philip Myers of PEMY Consulting. Today we discuss the Great Freeze of 2021 and NATECH. I would like to introduce you to the word NATECH, which is an abbreviation and strange word that stands for Natural Hazard Triggered Technological Disasters. This mouthful of words, which is made easier by the term NATECH, means what happens when natural disasters collide with technological systems, such as power plants, storage facilities, any kind of infrastructure. The Great Freeze that happened less than a month ago illustrates a NATECH event. The table shows just some of the consequences resulting from the extreme low and long duration temperatures and its impact on Texas. It caused total disruption to the infrastructure, including power, food, and water supplies, cost at least 70 lives and $19 billion in damages to start with. This is a perfect example of an extreme natural event of low temperatures interacting with infrastructure, in other words, a NATECH. The photos below are of Wek-Wheatie in the Northwest Territories of Canada. You can see that the freeze resulted in low record temperatures and that the MRI, or mean recurrence interval, would be about 100 years from the third bullet. As a point of reference for how cold this is, the boiling point of propane is minus 44 degrees F. Gasoline can start to gel and coagulate at these low temperatures. 168 hours is a week. The diagram shows that for a period of about a week, the Midwest and South was continuously below freezing, a very long time indeed, and enough time to freeze water lines, gas lines, and cause anything that is not heated to drop below freezing. Here is satellite imagery. On the left is before and on the right is after the freeze. You can see the large areas around Houston that have lost power. Moreover, Houston would be protected best because all the power and money is located there. Imagine the extent of power loss in other parts of Texas, especially where it was much colder. This chart shows that the source of energy in gigawatts during the cold crisis. Natural gas had about a 30% drop, and this is obviously the largest energy loss in Texas. Coal took a similar drop. Wind had a substantial drop, but is only a small fraction of the total energy needs of the state. Nuclear was pretty constant, and solar and hydroelectric are barely noticeable. Hydrates were the culprit in much of the energy loss in Texas. What are hydrates? They are an ice-like formation of methane and other light organic compounds with water. There isn't a fixed relationship between temperature and hydrate formation, as you can see, but systems with several hundreds or thousands of psi gas pressure can form hydrates at room temperature, and these are solids that block flow paths. On the left, we can see that a methane molecule is surrounded by water. This forms a stable crystalline structure that looks like ice. You can see a chunk of hydrates burning on the right. Unlike ice, once they form, they are difficult to get rid of, and the temperature must be well above the hydrate formation temperature to cause them to sublime or evaporate. A major cause of NATECH was natural gas freeze-offs, where the gas lines and equipment get plugged by hydrates, and the facilities go down. Of course, without winterization, typical instrumentation and controls not rated for these low temperatures will also not work. Here are a few photos that show the sad situation during this period. Pause a moment and look at these photos to see if you can determine the meaning of each photo and figure out what is going on. In summary, whole classes of problems arise from a NATECH. This raises the question about what society can or should do to reduce risks. This is just a partial list of major oil and gas facilities shut down by the Texas Freeze. These resulted in a significant reduction in the U.S. refining capacity during this time. I want to end on this note. Earl Crochet of Crochet Midstream Consulting and I co-chair a new publication being developed for the American Petroleum Institute that will address what can be done in advance to mitigate the impacts of NATECH on petroleum and chemical storage tank facilities. NATECH triggers can be flooding, high winds, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, tornadoes, earthquakes, and basically any natural disasters that can occur. We all hope that we can make a positive difference. Thank you.